Hello everyone, Zellerant here, and for today's video on Umamusume, as Kitasan Black has just dropped for her rerun, it has never been a better time to start as a new player. And if you're one of those people who is willing to reroll, and you're not exactly attached to your current account, if you've been playing for a little bit, or you're just brand spanking new, rerolling has also never been better. Because of the amount of carrots you're going to actually be able to start out with this. And so with this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what you can kind of look at if you do go with the process of rerolling and how you can set yourself up to be very successful going into the future, especially when it comes to doing the next scenario, make a new track, because while you're going to struggle in Unity Cup regardless as a new player, just because we're already past the Rico banner and you're hurting a little bit on your other support cards, you will be able to get all the way to make a new track and basically be caught up and fairly competitive with everybody else once that scenario drops. But before we get into that, I just received my boxes from today's sponsor, Tokyo Treat in Sakadako, so I thought I'd go ahead and showcase those real quick, and then we'll get right into it. And for the first box here, we have Tokyo Treat with its festive decorations for the holidays here. This is the one with all the snacks here that's kind of all over the place. A lot of good ones, especially the Kit Kats they come with. And so we have the postcard they give in all of them, coming from one of the executives in the company. Then we have a booklet that kind of breaks down everything in the box here. There's all kinds of different things. And so this is going to let you know where it's kind of coming from here. And so I'll be trying a couple of them here in a second. And so with that is the booklet. Then just a lot of snacks in here. The biggest thing that I always like is right here, usually at the top, with the Kit Kats. So we have some raspberry ones here. And then some other kind of potato chips, potato rings, some noodles, always like me some ramen, and a bunch of other little goodies here in the bottom. And for the second box here, we have Sakadako. So this is a more cultural box, another postcard from one of the executives here. Same thing with the booklet that breaks down all of the items within it, and kind of where their cultural background is and where they kind of come from. And in this box, it always comes with a unique item, which in this case is another plate. And it breaks down everything in there. And then it has a bunch of snacks, just like with Tokyo Treat and Sakadako. I'll try a couple of these. Really looking forward to these chocolate strawberries, I believe what they look to be. And then also some other things like teas and other cultural items from all around Japan. All right, we're going to go ahead and try some of these here. So I have the Kit Kat first, because the Kit Kat's always my favorite of the boxes. So you have that familiarity with the Kit Kats that we have here, but with the extra flavor they come with. This one having raspberries. So let's go ahead and try that. Yeah, I mean, every single one of them has been good. Even when it's been like foods that I normally don't eat. I'm kind of mixed in with the Kit Kat. It is a really good blend of flavor there. And you get a pretty large bag. It's the biggest thing you get out of the box, the Tokyo Treat. And then we have the chocolate-covered strawberry here. Go ahead and try that real quick. This one's a little bit harder of a chocolate, so I have to make sure to kind of bite into it. But yeah, overall, pretty good. I mean, I love me some chocolate and candy in general. And so this whole bag's a nice festive theme, so you'll have some familiarity with kind of the holiday candy with that Japan twist on it with that. And that's pretty much it, and I'd like to thank Tokyo Treat and Sakadako for the sponsor. And we'll get back to the video. Alright, now that Kitasan Black is available again on Rerun, like I was saying, there's never been a better time than now to reroll if you're a new player, or someone that's not exactly satisfied with your account. Maybe you've just had abysmal luck on all of your pulls, and you're willing to part ways with it to try and get yourself a stronger account going forward. This is a great opportunity. And it's better than any of the other reroll opportunities we've had up to this point. And that is because if you kind of think about the two other times that I've talked about rerolling, was when the game launched, you were rerolling to try and get copies of Fine Motion and Super Creek. We were only working with about 40 pulls there and just trying to get like 2 copies, because the way the math worked, if you didn't want to be there all day and night trying to get them, you were looking at only trying to get 2 copies because we had 40 pulls. The next big opportunity to reroll was when Kitasan Black first dropped. And I believe we had around 90 to 100 pulls on reroll there. And so your target was more or less getting Limit Break 2, or potentially 3 if you're willing to do a lot of rerolls to make it work, because you could get enough carrots before the banner dropped to do a full pity on that one. but you wouldn't know if you got any more copies on the way to 200. So it took a lot of work for people to pull that off. Today, with this reroll, having talked with people, you're going to start with approximately 170 pulls. There is going to be a ton of stuff in your mailbox with a bunch of goodies. And so with 170 pulls on the Kitasan Black banner, if you're new or you're just willing to start from scratch, you're going to be able to set yourself up for big success. Maybe not in Unity Cup, because Unity Cup, you don't have Rico available to you. You probably would have to basically make Rico your borrow, and Kitasan Black will be hopefully MLB if you put in the time to get it, as well as then having to just work with whatever you get on your other pulls in this. But even though Unity Cup might be a little bit of a struggle for you, you will be set up for success going into Make a New Track and later, because you will have everything available to you to make actually a strong deck and Make a New Track if you reroll in this banner. And we're going to go through all of that here first. But first I want to talk about the reroll and kind of what your odds are, how many runs you're looking at having to do, because it's not actually going to take that long mathematically to get MLB Kitasan Black if you reroll on this banner. We're going to take a look at that and how long it might take you on average to do that. And so right now I have a gotcha calculator to kind of show the math here. So I've rounded it down to 160. I've been told it's 170, but you have to kind of go in the archive and all that. Maybe it might be an extra few button clicks to do that. And when it comes to reroll, you want to make it as quick as possible. It took about a minute to do it on launch, but that was only doing 30 to 40 pulls. This is doing 160 to 170. It's going to take a little bit longer. We'll just approximate 2 minutes per pull. And so we'll put that in there. We have now, instead of a 0.5 rate, we have a 0.75, so better odds here. And when you look at the math, the main target you're looking to get is 4 copies. If you get 4 copies of Kitasan Black, that is limit break 3, and you're going to do it in 160, after that point, you can just grind out the rest of the carrots. That's just doing runs, doing the races to get your trophies, getting all the random achievement carrots and all that. You will be able to work your way up to, before the banner drops, getting that 200 pulls to then just use the pity to MLB her. So your main target on rerolls is going to be 4 copies. And it's approximately going to be a 3% chance to get either 4 or 5. You could just outright MLB her on the reroll as well. But so about a 3% chance to do it. So if you think about how many runs that's going to take on average, that's looking at around 33. On average, you can be really unlucky and it could take 100 or 200 pulls. I'm not going to say it's a guarantee. I'm just saying that's what you're looking at on average. If you're one of those people that doesn't really want to reroll for a very long time, limit break 3 is a workable Kitasan Black that is usable. Now you're looking at like a 10% rate, and so on average about 10 runs. Although because of how good this opportunity is, I would, if I was brand new, put in the time to do enough rerolls to get that MLB. Starting right off the bat with an MLB Kitasan Black is going to be massive for you. It's going to make your runs go a lot smoother. And yeah, it's overall pretty good there. So that's kind of the math there. And if you actually can get that 170 pulls fairly quickly, I haven't made a new account that really tested out. But if you can just kind of go in the archive, get the little bit of bonus that you'll get there and a couple other places, it increases it to about a 4%. So instead of 33 on average, about 25. But that is all it's going to take doing the rerolls. And like I said, it was about a minute when the game launched. So with all these additional pulls, I'd just say round it up to 2 minutes. You're going to just click spam, click spam. There's no waiting for the book. You just click skip every time. Double check to see how many Kitasan Blacks you got real quick. You have to have a good attention to detail because you're going to want to push through them really quickly if you want to do it in a efficient manner. And if you don't see that you got 4 copies, immediately delete, go on to the next one. Now, for those who are wondering how to do a reroll, I actually have a video that I'll put in the description, a link to it here. So this is the video I made on launch. You can kind of ignore the parts where I'm saying, hey, you're looking for fine motion, super creek, and all that. But I walked through the entire process. We can kind of just look at it here real quick for those who want to kind of see it. I'll just mute it. But if you kind of go through it, you start your new account. You go in the details here. Once you get to your country region, just go to that really quick. Now, one strategy I don't actually talk about in this video is you enter your birthday really quick. What I did later on was have your birthday, whatever it is, so like, and just have it in the clipboard. So have it, put it somewhere and copy it so it's in your clipboard. Then all you have to do here is Control V, and then as soon as it asks for your name, which I believe is like right after it, well, you have skip tutorial. After your first run, which if you've played the game already, you'll have this option. Just skip the tutorial so you don't have to go through that again. And then when it comes to entering your name, if you have your birthday on your clipboard, you can just Control V right there as well. You're allowed to change your name freely in game, so just go ahead and put your birthday in there. It's just going to make it much quicker instead of typing out your name. Put in your birthday, bam, go right into it. It's going to pop up with the banners. I think it'll say Kitasan Black and all that's there. In your gifts, you're going to have a crap ton of carrots, a lot more than you're seeing here, because you have a lot of the ones that come. Now, some of them have fallen off. But from what I've been told, it is up to 170 now. But some of the ones we had earlier have fallen off to this point. But you take that 170, you just immediately go into the banner here. Make sure you go to the Kitasan Black one, of course. There's multiple banners here. These are the launch ones that I'm showing here. And then just go through your pulls. If your luck is bad, all you do is you go back to the title screen, click delete user data, and start from scratch. And then you just repeat that process. As you can see, this is me kind of talking about it, but the video took about 5 minutes to get through here. But it's not that. It doesn't take that long. That's just because I'm talking throughout the video. And as you can see, I did it and pushed through, did another one. I did 2 of them in a row here. Very easy, very quick, and it's going to save you a lot of time. Now, the second part to this, after you reroll, you MLB Kitasan Black, how is this going to set you up for success going into Make a New Track? Because you might be thinking, well, you're still going to be behind and everything because you're missing all the stuff that came out prior. Yes, you are missing some things, and Unity Cup will be a struggle. But as a new player, you have a lot of stuff that you're going to have that's going to be completely free to you. It's going to be very useful in Make a New Track. And so we're going to just take a look at support cards. Right now, the current event card. So if I actually go to supports here, the story events. Right now, we have a current story card that is going to be very, very good in Make a New Track. This is going to be a core component of a Guts build, which I think is going to be the strongest build, especially for a new player going into it. If you get this card, right now it's available. Just spam careers until you get that 400,000 points to get the card out of the events. Then just do all your wheel spins that you've accumulated up to that 400,000 points to get I think the other 3 copies. And then just watch the story really quick. You can skip through it. That'll get you the final copy. You'll get this card completely free, MLB, and it's a very good Guts card for the Guts build in Make a New Track. And then the other card that is going to be free that pairs along right side of her that you'll work towards is the, well, it's not a story card, but we go way down here, is the Haru Urara card. As this one you can get through the shop for free. You just have to grind out the points to get it. Going to be another very good one going into Make a New Tracks for your Guts build. And then you have some other options for the third there. But then also, on the next story event, which will be the next one, we'll get this free Marvelous Sunday Power card, which has 15% race bonus. Boom. Right there, you're already set with 4 of your cards right there. You'll have Kitasan Black. You'll have 2 of your main Guts cards. So that brings you up to 3. And then this one can be your 4th. You'll have 1 that you can borrow. So you just borrow whatever your needs are for the deck at the time. And then depending on your other pulls and that, you can make it work going into Make a New Track. Because you're going to have a lot more opportunity to pull on other stuff over time as well. Now, to kind of showcase this, I actually also pulled up a video here that we're not going to watch the video, but we can just take an image from it. This is someone that made a video showcasing free-to-play and Make a New Track back when it came out for Japanese players. And so this is just one example. Now, we don't have the details on the parents or anything in here, but it is showcasing that with a completely free-to-play deck. This is 100% free-to-play. This deck is worse than the deck you're going to have because this one doesn't have Kitasan Black in it. So right here, if you look at it, this is the free one you're going to get right off the bat. A Marvelous Sunday power card, part of the story. Now, the only one here that you can kind of say you may not have in this scenario is going to be the Nishino Flower. It's a SR card from the Gacha system, but it is an SR card, so maybe we'll get some copies of her, and then you can use the SR crystals to kind of try and push her up to MLB. She has 15% race bonus, but even if you don't have her, there's a card not seeing here that I've already talked about, which is going to be like Udada. You can kind of go around with that Guts build where you take multiple Guts cards. So you can replace her with Udada. You have the Yukino Bijin card that is currently available in the current event. You get her. Tosin Jordan is a free story speed card we're going to get. It only has 5% race bonus. You're going to have Kitasan Black. In this scenario, just replace her with your Kitasan Black MLB, and your deck's already stronger than this one. As you can already see, this has got some pretty good stats. And then this one is the Team Speak Up Hal card. This one's another, I believe, story one. This one will be a completely free card you can get as well. I probably wouldn't use this one. There's a lot of better options than this that you'll have access to. But this one will be a free one you will be able to easily get. And then, of course, it's borrowing the Fuku Speed card, which I'm going to advise most people to skip, but be a very good borrow card. It is a very solid speed card. We will get free pulls on it as well, so you may get lucky and get multiple copies of her and might be able to use her over here and then borrow something else going to make a trick. But as you can see here, if you've been playing for a little bit, you can already tell these stats are significantly higher than anything anyone's making in Unity Cup, and this is with a complete free-to-play deck. This is hitting UG rank. You actually won't be seeing too many UG ranks in Make a New Track, at least in the beginning, from what I understand. Most I see are weaker than this. But this is just to kind of show it is possible to get very good stats with the free-to-play deck. So you will be starting off fairly strong for that. Now, when we kind of take a look, and I went back to the Gacha, I'm not sure why I did that. But if we look at what's coming up now, because you reroll on that, you might be hurt. You don't really have Umas at this point, because you haven't pulled on an Uma banner. You're going to be kind of set on support cards, at least for the time being. Yes, Unity, like I said, Unity Cup's going to kind of suck for a little bit, but you're focusing on the future, which is Make a New Track. Every new player is going to have to take some time to build up parents, some more support cards and all that. So you're just going to, in Champions meetings, you just do Open League, building those B-level Umas until you've kind of built up your parents and all that to be competitive in the next scenario. So what I would think kind of going into the future from here is it only took you 200 pulls to MLB Kitasan Black. With how many pulls we got basically at launch, I fully expect that after you kind of farm your achievements and all that, you will be able to get another pity's worth of pulls. Now there's a couple options you're going to kind of have here. I think the most popular for a lot of people is going to be Ugly Cap Christmas. This could be the choice you make on the one that the Uma banner you pull on. Because I'm going to say you're going to want to pull on an Uma banner to kind of flesh out your Umas. Hopefully try and get your 1 and 2 stars up to 3 stars so you can get some inherits off of them. As well as getting maybe some other random 3 stars to kind of help you out on having different Umas for building for the whatever the current Champions meetings is. But she is potentially skippable here because I think there's another banner. I've talked about it in another video for very new players that might be very good for you to pull on to flesh out your account on Umas. Now, you will have the random one you can work towards, which will give you one of the random debut ones. I would not use the selector one you're giving right off the bat until you've used that, because then you can select one of the Umas, and hopefully, since you use the random, you can just select one that's not the random one you got. And the biggest advice there would be Taiki Shuttle or Maru Zensky, because they have great inherits. But the best banner, I think, for a new player that you can save up for after doing all that is then going to just be this generic one that allows you to pity any Uma. And so you can use this to really flesh out your account, especially if you have an Uma that's already come out that you want, but is not available currently, or you have to kind of get them randomly. So if, for example, you wanted to get Seiyun Sky because you want to do a lot of front runners, you can get Seiyun Sky off this one at 200 pulls. We have, if you skip like Christmas Ugly Cap, for example, because you're continuing to save your pulls. You can get Christmas order recap on this one as well. You have everything in this banner will be available that came out prior to it. So it even has the New Year Umas that came out right before it. And so this might be the banner you do 200, or if you're willing to be more of a heavier spender on the game, you're brand new to the game, but you're willing to spend money, this might be a good banner to do 400 pulls on and just really flesh out your account, get a couple of the meta ones for inherits, and then continue from there. And then just know if you're willing to spend money on the anniversary, which will come out right up here, you will be able to pay for a selector to select one of the Umas that came out. I believe it's from the New Year's and earlier. So basically a selector that also has all these Umas. And then you'll be set on Umas. And you can kind of pull on the other cards based on my priorities that I've kind of outlined in prior videos. We're not going to go over all that today. This is more just to focus on rerolls and why I feel like if you reroll on Kitasan Black right now as a new player, you are going to be set up for success going into Make a New Track. And you will be able to be competitive if you put in the time right now to really start building your parents. Because that's the biggest thing that'll hold you back starting out is just lack of good parents. Because everybody else has a fairly strong one. Well, I wouldn't say fairly strong, but a lot better than what you have at this point. But once you get those parents grinded out, you'll be good to go. And you can make Umas, like I said, you've seen on this video right here, going into Make a New Track. Now, it will take some time. This is I'm going to say, a very good RNG Uma. But this is a lot stronger than anything you're currently seeing in Unity Cup. So that's pretty much it for now. I thought I'd just go ahead and make this quick video on why you should reroll if the opportunity presents itself. Of course, if you're tied, if you like your account, you have some good Umas on it, or you've been playing since launch, of course, don't reroll on this banner. Even if you've had some pretty bad luck, you will have the ability. Hopefully, you've pitied on the Kitasan Black banners. And like, so worst case luck, I would think most people, if you've kind of followed my advice, should at least have Limit Break 2 Kitasan Black if you've been playing since launch, which then means at this point, hopefully you still have your selector that you should have saved from the half anniversary. Go ahead and use that to Limit Break 3 or Limit Break 4 her. And if you're desperate because you were stupidly unlucky and got only Limit Break 2, I could say you can also use your Limit Break Crystal at this point as well. Hopefully you don't need to do that though, because that will be nice if you can hold on to that for either Fine Motion or Super Creek, depending on what your needs are. But that'll be it for now. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.